Welcome to the deep dive. If you need that shortcut to getting instantly informed about the really complex stories shaping our culture today, well, you're definitely in the right place.
That's right.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into, honestly, just an extraordinary career arc. Ke Huy Quan.
Yeah, this is one of those stories that feels bigger than just Hollywood, doesn't it? It's really about resilience,
Yeah.
smart career moves,
Yeah.
and just playing the long game.
Totally.
We're looking at someone who started out, displaced by war, becomes this huge child star internationally,
Right.
then faces almost 2 decades, basically silence, professionally in front of the camera anyway, and then comes back with this historic award-sweeping success. Incredible.
And that gap, that 19-year gap, the sabbatical, as the sources call it, that's really the heart of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
What we want to unpack.
Exactly.
Our mission here isn't just to list his movies,
Yeah.
It's to dig into that long middle part, the time he spent working really hard behind the camera. We need to understand how those technical skills he was building, almost in secret, didn't just get him ready for a comeback, but actually made him the only person who could have possibly played Waymond Wang.
That's the core insight, I think. The kid everyone loved in the 80s, short round, Data, he didn't just sit around waiting.
No.
He actively built this really complex, multi-layered skill set. You've got martial arts, serious technical directing knowledge. He's multilingual.
Yeah.
And then, when the perfect moment finally came, all those things converged. It let him give a performance that was so layered, so demanding, that basically redefined his entire career and broke some major barriers in the industry.
Right.
It's a masterclass, really, in reinventing yourself professionally.
Okay, so to really get the full picture, we absolutely have to start at the beginning. And his beginning is deeply rooted in conflict and displacement.
Oh, absolutely. His story is tied right into the history of Southeast Asia at that time. He was born in Saigon, South Vietnam. The sources say either 1970 or 71.
Right.
And this is crucial. His family was of Chinese descent. They were part of the Hoa ethnic minority in Vietnam.
Why is that so important?
Well, because after the Vietnam War ended in 1975, the situation for the Hoa people became really, really dangerous. There were intense political and ethnic tensions.
Got it. So fleeing Vietnam wasn't just like immigrating. It was a desperate escape.
Absolutely. The sources show that just 3 years after the war, his family had to flee. And it led to this just devastating separation.
No, so...
The family was literally split up, scattered as refugees. Ke Huy Quan, his dad, and 5 siblings ended up in a refugee camp over in Hong Kong.
Wow.
Meanwhile, his mother and 3 other siblings got separated, and they wound up seeking refuge in Malaysia.
Can you imagine being maybe 8 years old, separated from your mom, half your siblings living in a camp?
The uncertainty must have been immense, relying on international aid just to get by.
It's incredible. And it wasn't until 1979, so 4 years after the war, after all that trauma, that they were finally admitted to the U.S.
Right, through the Refugee Admissions Program.
Yeah.
That's when they settled in California. He grew up there, went to Mount Gleason Junior High, Alhambra High School.
And that background, arriving as a refugee, it just makes what happens next even more unbelievable.
Totally. Within just a few years of arriving in the U.S., he has this immediate, almost lightning-fast rise to global fame.
Which brings us straight to 1984. And the role that made him famous overnight, Short Round, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And the story of how he got cast, it's pure Hollywood legend, right? He was only 13.
It's amazing. Pure serendipity.
Yeah.
The casting director was at Castelar Elementary School looking for a kid to play Indy's sidekick.
Yeah.
But they weren't even looking at Ke Huy Quan at first. They were auditioning his younger brother.
No way.
Yeah. Apparently, Quan was just there to kind of coach his brother, give him pointers, run lines, and the director spots this energetic, really expressive kid just hanging around.
And that was it.
That was it. He gets the part, playing Harrison Ford's 12-year-old sidekick. I mean, think about that leap. Refugee camp 5 years earlier, now co-starring in one of the biggest movies in the world.
The impact was huge. He got a Saturn Award nomination right away, best performance by a younger actor.
And he didn't slow down. The very next year, 1985, boom, the Goonies. He becomes Richard Data Wang, the inventor kid. Absolutely. For a whole generation, that 1-2 punch Short Round, then Data just burned him into memory as, the definitive 80s child star.
It feels like the story could end there for some child actors, but the sources show he actually kept working pretty steadily through the late 80s, early 90s, and he was surprisingly adaptable working internationally, too.
Yeah, that adaptability is really interesting. He wasn't just stuck being the American sidekick. In '86, he did a Taiwanese movie, It Takes a Thief, playing a pickpocket orphan.
Okay.
Then the next year, '87, he's in a Japanese film called Passengers. So right away, you see him comfortable in different production environments, probably using those language skills he had.
And back in the U.S., on TV.
A bit of a mixed bag there. He was in a family drama, Together We Stand, for about 19 episodes in '86, '87. Didn't last long.
Right.
But then he landed a main role, Jasper Kwong, in the sitcom Head of the Class. That ran from 1990 to '91, so a more solid gig.
Okay, so she's working. What else in the 90s?
Looking through the timeline, he was busy. Breathing Fire in '91, a small role in Encino Man in '92. Remember that one?
Vaguely. Brendan Fraser, right?
That's the one. But then he takes on this huge project. He stars in a Taiwanese TV show, Eunuch and Carpenter. It was in Mandarin. Ran for 40 episodes in 1993.
40 episodes, starring role in Mandarin.
Yeah, that's a massive undertaking. It really shows his range, his global appeal. He was clearly a versatile talent.
Which makes it even more stark when that stream of work eventually just dries up, and that leads into this huge pivot, the phase that really defines the next 20 years for him.
Right, this transition, moving away from acting around the year 2000, this is really the core of our deep dive today. And the reason wasn't, a lack of talent or anything. It was a pretty harsh reality.
What was it?
As he got older, became an adult, Ke Huy Quan found it incredibly difficult to get acting roles, specifically in the U.S.
The opportunities just weren't there for him anymore.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Or if he was offered parts, they were often like really stereotypical flat characters, nothing complex, nothing interesting, especially compared to the charismatic kid roles he'd had.
That must have been frustrating.
Immensely. It was basically a systemic problem, a barrier that ultimately pushed him to quit acting.
Wow. So he just walked away?
Not exactly away from the industry, which is key. It wasn't a light decision. It sounds like more of a professional necessity.
Yeah.
But he made a really strategic move. He went back to school.
Oh, yeah. Where?
He enrolled in the film program at USC, University of Southern California, a really prestigious program.
Smart. So if he couldn't get in front of the camera...
He decided to learn how to master everything behind it. Yeah.
And did he thrive there?
Seems like it. The sources mention he wasn't just, attending classes. While he was a student, he actually edited a short film, a comedy horror short called Voodoo.
Okay.
And that film, directed by a friend, Greg Bishop, it won the Audience Award at the Slam Dance Film Festival back in 2000.
That's significant. Slam Dance is a big deal for indie film.
Totally. And what's really interesting is thinking about editing. It requires this deep understanding of pacing, timing, emotional beats, continuity.
Skills that would actually help an actor, right? But from a technical side.
Exactly. And apparently Voodoo is still shown to USC film students today, which says a lot about the quality of his work even back then.
So if he's building these technical skills, editing, but there was another skill set he already had, right? Something that gave him an immediate way back onto film sets.
Yes. Martial arts and stunt coordination.
Ah, right. From his childhood.
This is where that early foundation really paid off. He'd studied Taekwondo with Philip Tan way back on the set of Indiana Jones.
Wow.
And he kept training later on. Studied under a master named Tao Liang Tan, eventually got a second-degree black belt. That's serious dedication.
You're kidding.
And that physical expertise, that was the key. It unlocked almost 2 decades of steady work behind the scenes.
Okay, let's get into that behind-the-scenes work, because it's not just like fetching coffee. He had some serious technical roles for nearly 20 years, both in Asia and the U.S.
He really did. He became this kind of film industry Swiss Army knife.
So where did he start with the stunt stuff?
His entry point was immediate and huge. Because of his martial arts background, he landed a role as assistant fight choreographer and translator on the first X-Men movie in 2000.
X-Men, wow. Who brought him in?
The legendary Hong Kong choreographer Corey Yuen. He invited Quan onto the project.
Okay, hold on. Assistant fight choreographer on X-Men. What does that actually involve? It sounds way more complex than just being a stunt performer.
Oh, it's intensely technical. You're the bridge, basically, between the director's big action vision and making it happen safely and effectively on set.
Right.
You're breaking down these really complex fight sequences into movements the actors and stunt doubles can actually do. You might be teaching people who don't have a martial arts background.
And the translator part?
That was literal, too. Helping the Eastern choreography team like Corey Ewan's crew, communicate clearly with the Western production side. That takes incredible patience, precision, clarity.
Okay, so a really demanding start. Did that lead to more work?
Immediately. The
Yeah.
very next year, 2001, he's working with Corey Ewan again. This time as assistant action choreography director on the Jet Li movie, The One.
Ah, The One. Lots of action in that.
Totally. It's defined by those intricate fights. So as assistant action choreography director, he's deep in the mechanics of how you tell a story through movement.
Like how the camera needs to move, how actors hit marks.
Exactly. Capturing speed, impact, making sure it's safe, but also making sure every punch, every kick actually serves the story. These are filmmaking skills, not just acting skills.
This is fascinating. He's building this whole other career. But maybe the most surprising credit from this period is working with Wong Kar-wai, right?
Yes. In 2004, he was an assistant director on Wong Kar-wai's film 2046, which is, this critically acclaimed, visually stunning, very specific kind of movie.
Wong Kar-wai has a reputation for being meticulous.
Meticulous is an understatement.
Yeah.
Perfectionist. His sets are known for being kind of chaotic, fluid. He reshoots constantly, rewrites scenes on the fly, searching for that perfect emotional moment.
So what does an assistant director do on a set like that? Sounds like chaos management.
It's partly that, but it's also being a master of continuity, scheduling, even emotional blocking. You have to track microscopic details.
Like
the exact angle of light in a shot filmed weeks ago where a prop was placed, the tiny shift in an actor's expression across multiple takes. It demands incredible patience. And it teaches you that every single tiny detail builds towards the character's emotional truth.
That feels like a really key connection because Wayman Wang, in Everything Everywhere All at Once, that role required him to shift between three totally distinct personalities.
Exactly, the sweet, kind of down-on-his-luck husband.
Then a super smooth, capable alpha Waymond.
And the martial arts action hero Waymond.
Yeah. You could almost argue that the AD work on 2046 taught him the insane level of detail needed to track those three different emotional states, keep them distinct but connected.
I think that's a very strong possibility. He wasn't just drifting for 19 years. He was mastering the technical side, the physical side, the organizational complexity of filmmaking at a really high level internationally.
He went from being maybe a typecast actor
to being this complete storyteller who understood how every single department worked. He was, maybe without even realizing it fully, building the perfect toolkit for a character that needed all those skills at the same time.
Okay, so he spends nearly 2 decades building this incredible, diverse skill set behind the camera. What was it? What finally pulled this, frankly, overqualified professional back into acting?
The sources point to one specific thing: the huge success of Crazy Rich Asians in 2018.
Ah, right. That movie was massive.
Culturally and commercially, it proved, definitively, that audiences are hungry for complex, interesting, non-stereotypical stories led by Asian actors and creators.
It showed him the landscape had actually changed.
Exactly. It showed him maybe, just maybe, there was a space now for the kind of roles he'd wanted all along. A door that had been slammed shut for him as a young adult might finally be open.
And his first rollback almost seems fated, doesn't it? A little nod to his past.
It really does. His first major film after the hiatus was for Netflix. An adventure movie called Finding Ohana came out in 2021.
And the casting story there is pretty great, too.
It's amazing. It highlights being prepared and just being in the right place. He apparently overheard the director, Jude Wang, describing the movie to someone.
And she said,
She described it as, quote, The Goonies meets Indiana Jones.
"You can't make this stuff up."
Right. The irony. After 2 decades maybe trying to move beyond those roles, they become the very words that unlock his first step back in.
It was like a gentle reintroduction. Hey, industry, remember me. I'm ready.
Exactly. Successful, but gentle. But then came the absolute tidal wave, the phenomenon.
Yeah.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, 2022.
Yeah. And the directors, the Daniels, they were really struggling to cast Wayman Wang, weren't they?
Oh, massively. The role was a casting nightmare. Think about what it demands.
Okay, break it down.
You need brilliant comedic timing. You need deep, profound emotional vulnerability. You need language skills. Cantonese, English, Mandarin are all in there. And you need high-level martial arts ability and physical action chops. It's like 3 or 4 different actors rolled into one. Most actors excel in maybe 1 or 2 of those.
How did they find him?
Almost by chance, according to the sources. Co-director Daniel Kwan was just scrolling Twitter, saw Ke Huy Quan, recognized him from the 80s, and had this light bulb moment. Realized he was the right age, had the physical capability, Could this be the guy?
And the timing for Quan himself was just perfect.
Unbelievably poetic. He had just signed with a talent agent again, literally 2 weeks before he got the audition call from the Daniels. He said it was like taking a leap of faith.
And that 20 years of preparation just slams right into that one moment of perfect opportunity.
Precisely.
The film comes out in March 2022, and the reaction is just instant. Huge critical acclaim, but also this massive cultural buzz.
Yeah. And his performance is Waymond, all three Waymans. It was the heart of the film for so many people. That vulnerability, then the sudden explosion of skill with Alpha Waymond.
It was the anchor.
Totally.
Yeah.
And that connection with audiences, that critical love, it translated into one of the biggest award sweeps we've seen in years.
We really need to pause and appreciate the scale of this. He won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor.
Yep. The Golden Globe.
The Screen Actors Guild Award.
All in 2022 for that one role.
And the Oscar win. It wasn't just a comeback win. It was genuinely historic.
Hugely historic. He became the first Vietnam-born actor ever to win an Academy Award for acting.
Ever. That's incredible.
And put it in wider context, he's only the second actor of Asian descent to win Best Supporting Actor. The first was Hang S. Noor for The Killing Fields way back in 1985.
Almost 40 years between those wins.
40 years. It really highlights how slow progress has been for representation at that highest level in Hollywood.
He also broke ground at the SAG Awards, right?
Yeah. First Asian man to win any individual acting category there. The impact of this return was just massive, felt everywhere.
Which led to Time magazine naming him one of their 100 most influential people in the world in 2023.
It cemented his status. This wasn't just a feel-good story. It was a powerful statement about the kind of talent the industry had overlooked for so long.
And crucially, this isn't just a one-hit wonder situation. He's immediately booked and busy, proving he's here to stay.
Absolutely. Look at his TV work right after. He was in the Disney Plus series American-Born Chinese in 2023. Right. And maybe even bigger, he joined the main cast of Marvel's Loki for Season 2, also in 2023. Played Ouroboros, OB, that quirky TVA tech guy.
He was great in that. So different from Waymond.
Totally different. And he got a Critics' Choice nomination for it. That ability to jump from the intense drama of EAAO to the complex sci-fi lore and dry humor of the MCU, that shows the incredible range he built during that sabbatical. He's not just playing parts, he's building characters.
And his film slate is packed, too. Seems like he's in everything now.
Pretty much. Voice role in Kung Fu Panda 4 as Han, a lead role in an action film called Love Hurts coming up. He's in the big sci-fi movie The Electric State, even doing a voice in Zootopia too.
Wow, he's everywhere.
And the final seal of approval, really.
Right.
In June 2023, he was officially invited to join the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences as an actor.
The establishment that once couldn't find roles for him now welcomes him in. Full circle.
So before we wrap this up, we really should touch on the personal side, the support system that kind of helped him navigate this incredible comeback.
Good point. Let's quickly just restate his background, Han Chinese heritage, from the Hoa minority in Vietnam.
Right. And his languages. Fluent English, Cantonese, Mandarin. That multilingual skill is a huge asset, obviously essential for EEAAO, but also just in today's global film market.
Definitely. Now, talk about the personal connections that intersected with his professional life in really amazing ways. His wife, Echo Quan.
Yes. Echo played this really important, though maybe quiet, role on the set of Everything Everywhere All at Once.
What did she do?
She served as the on-set translator.
Really?
Yeah. Think about how complex that film was. The emotional intensity, the need for absolute clarity between the directors, the crew, and the actors. Like Michelle Yeoh and Quan himself were using multiple languages.
Having your wife, someone you trust implicitly, handling that crucial communication bridge?
It must have been invaluable.
Yeah.
A really deep professional bond right there during his defining comeback performance.
That's incredible. But the connection that always gets the biggest wow reaction, the one that feels like it's straight out of a movie script, is the link back to the Goonies.
Oh, yeah. Jeff Cohen.
Chunk
himself. The symmetry is just unbelievable. Jeff Cohen, who played the truffle shuffling kid. He also stepped away from acting eventually, like Quan. But he built this incredibly successful second career.
That's it.
Top entertainment lawyer.
Get out. Seriously.
Seriously. Highly successful.
Yeah.
And the sources confirm he and Quan stayed genuine, close friends all those years.
That's amazing in itself.
It is. So when Quan decided he needed to get back into acting seriously, who do you think he turned to for legal advice, for representation?
It had to be Jeff Cohen.
It was.
Yeah.
Jeff Cohen became Ke Huy Quan's entertainment lawyer.
Yeah.
And he was the one who negotiated the contract for everything, everywhere, all at once.
Stop it. Chunk negotiated the Oscar-winning deal for short round data.
That's the story.
It's perfect.
It really underscores how those connections you make early on, even as kids on a movie set, can become this vital professional support system decades later.
It's a testament to loyalty surviving in, let's face it, a pretty tough business. What a story. Hashtag tag tag outro.
So when you step back and look at the whole thing, it's just an incredible journey, isn't it? From refugee kid in '79 to instant global fame.
Right.
Then facing that professional wall, the typecasting, making that smart, deliberate pivot behind the scenes.
Yeah, that rigorous work.
And then staging this comeback that wasn't just successful, it was unprecedented, historic.
And the key thing isn't just that he came back, it's how. He didn't return just leaning on nostalgia. He came back as like a complete filmmaker in an actor's body.
That's a great way to put it.
He took the discipline from his martial arts, the fight choreography, the deep logistical brain he must have developed as an AD on a film like 2046.
Yeah, the patience.
Yeah, his language skills, plus, the charm he always had. And he poured every single bit of that into Wayman Wang. All three of them.
That perfect storm.
Right.
The USC training, the action expertise, the AD experience, and then having his childhood friend negotiate the deal. It all came together.
Yeah.
It made his second act arguably way more impactful, more meaningful than his first.
It wasn't just an acting comeback. It was like a victory for strategic career development. He didn't fail at acting. He invested in understanding the whole industry when the market wasn't right for him.
Exactly.
Which leaves us with a really interesting thought for you, the listener, to take away from this deep dive. When you look at all the awards, his barrier-breaking status, what does Ke Huy Quan's story really tell us about the hidden value of skills you pick up during maybe career detours or downturns? Things like being an assistant director or a fight choreographer, sometimes seen as, fallback jobs. But his story shows they can become the absolute key ingredients for your biggest success when that perfect, really complex opportunity finally shows up. So maybe think about it. What skills are you honing right now, perhaps on a detour, that might one day make you uniquely, perfectly overqualified for the thing you really want to do?
That's a powerful question to ponder. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
We'll catch you next time.